Yeah.
The world's champions of podcasting.
PMP gang, we back up in the building. Gang. Here we go. Rockin' with the best. It's the PMP show. Yup. Here we go. Rockin' with the best. It's the PMP show. Yup. Here we go. Rockin' with the best. It's the PMP show. Yup. Here we go. Rockin' with the best. It's the PMP Jimmy show. VIP of World War Z, we let it rank. Can't forget the pause, man. It's the PMP gang. World famous with the intros and AKAs. Talk about what we want, F what they say. World champions of podcast, we don't play. Nope, it's Coach Jim and Randy, Johnson and Johnson. Dope conversation and the realest content. Up in the clouds, we be higher than a comet. Make sure you share, like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Cause life's a mystery, we trying to figure out with the bozo of the day. Can't forget the in and outs. Trying to lift our people up, that's what it's all about. Yup. Here we go. Rockin' with the best. It's the PMP show. Yup. Here we go. Rockin' with the best. It's the PMP show. Yup. Here we go. Rockin' with the best. It's the PMP show. Yup. Here we go. Rockin' with the best. It's the PMP show.
Yo, it's the mother-loving PMP show. And we are back, America. And God bless America.
Let's see what we got.
And nowhere else. But
here we go.
Ghana. God bless Egypt.
Here we are.
Yugoslavia.
What's another one?
Budapest.
And here we are with the new one.
Haiti.
Oh!
Added on Haiti to the list.
Haiti.
And we're going to add a different country every day to give blessings to.
Yes.
To everybody else, fuck you.
Yeah, fuck your country. And we really don't mean fuck.
Yeah, we don't, but, you know.
But we kind of.
In a joking way.
Yeah. Until our audience goes over there.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we back, y'all.
Back. And, of course, PMP gang wouldn't be the PMP gang without Pause Man on the ones and twos.
Giving you that crystal clear clarity, you idiots. What's the matter with you? Hire this man. Had your shit looking like the Matrix in 1999 when that shit blew our mind.
You seen the intro.
You seen it.
Seen the intro.
Fuck out of here.
All right, but
made me angry, just
PMP gang is always. Should I stall in the intros or should I introduce our guests?
You want to introduce our special guest first?
Yeah, I think we should go with the special guest first to get right to her. So we got a
long-time friend of the show.
Exactly, one of the originators when the show was created.
Yes, on the original porch where this idea is generated from.
Exactly. Yes, we've got the great Darius in the building, ladies and gentlemen.
What's
the
up,
artist himself.
Glad to be in the building. Thank y'all for having me this evening.
Absolutely. I felt like we need a little round of applause in there somewhere.
Yeah, but maybe we'll find one.
It'll magically be in there on the edited version.
Yeah, on the edited version. But,
absolutely.
So, I stalled. So we're going to get to the intros because we got a lot of topics that we're going to chop it up and talk about.
And definitely on you to go.
And I would love to hear his opinion on our topic. So here we go. So not only is it your boy Funky, if I am funky,
I am definitely fresh.
And together we are Funky.
Oh, fresh in the flesh. My bad. Boy, let me get my B-boy stance because the shit is impeccable. This shit is ridiculous. I started many of fights back in 83 when I walked in the building and said, what?
They were scared just by looking at the stance.
Session. Yes.
So
it was disrespectful to get in your B-boy stance in somebody's face. You just couldn't do that in 83. It was not allowed.
83. Man, that was a long time ago. But is also Coach Jim,
Randy, Johnson, and Johnson. Fucking podcast champions.
The World Podcast champions.
World Podcast champions.
We're back, can't you? Yes. So with all those great AKAs I've been stalling, it's your boy Jimmy VIP. AKA Jimmy Ferrigno.
I feel like Incredible Hulk. I feel like that's a play off of the Green Goblin, because that's my nickname, a.k.a. War Z. I said it backwards. The Green Schmoglin. That's my nickname this week.
Shout out to the Green Schmoglin.
I was feeling real green today.
Green Schmoglin.
Flowers blooming and shit. Said, you know what? Let me put on some earthly covers.
Jimmy Ferrigno and the Green Schmoglin. So we are not, and he's in green. So
right, and Jimmy Ferrigno, Lou Ferrigno played the incredible.
Hey,
there we are.
Forget about it. So look, we like to start the show out with the State of the Union, the address, the State of the Union conversation, or topic or whatever. So, with further ado, let's go ahead and check out our State of the Union today.
Pause man is going to bring it to you.
I don't think he had the video, but he has.
You want me to get this one since I kind of okay. So it's a crazy story over the eclipse when the eclipse happened last week. You know, there was a lot of people saying, you know, the eclipse, you know, do this, do that, something crazy shit. Well, apparently this influencer, she was an astrology influencer, real popular, had a couple 100,000 followers. I hate that we have to use that to kind of relate to what popularity means in this culture, but you know, that's what it is. But basically, damn, I can't even see that, but you'll be able to see it on the screen, you know what I'm saying? But basically, she unalived her boyfriend, you know what I'm saying, and left him in an apartment. I believe she stabbed him, got in a car with a 9-year-old daughter and a 2-month-old daughter, sped off down the highway, pushed them out the car, unalived the 2-month-old, the 9-year-old lived.
Shalonda, what up?
She went on, what up, Shalonda? She went on to speed headfirst into a tree, killed herself, unalived herself, because we're not supposed to say
unalived
that
herself.
Yeah, unalived herself. And it's just a sad situation, but one of her posts where she was speaking on the eclipse and having some, you know, some type of effect and this, that, and the third. So it was just, I brought it up because it was just so sad to see somebody's brain just, how do you go to that? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you get to a point to where you push 2 little kids out the car? Like, whatever, even a situation with a grown adult, it's foul, whatever, but when you get to that point to where your brain is that fucked up to where you push 2 little kids out of a moving vehicle flying down the interstate, like, oh, man.
I just,
prayers to the family.
Yeah, definitely prayers to the family. That's just weird to me. Like, I really can't even speak on a parent being able to do that to their kids, for one. Man, like, we've been talking about, like, a lot of things pre-show. And for me, definitely to know that, for one, the eclipse thing. I just want to address the eclipse thing real quick. What do y'all think about because there's a lot of rumors going on about the eclipse being, it was fake sun, it was multiple, you know, this, that, and the third, you know. Do y'all have any opinions on that part, you know, because she claimed it was the eclipse that made her do it.
Yeah, that's what she claimed, yeah.
So do you think it's any validity in that? Because
I'll say, to answer 2 questions, to 2 answers to your question, I should say. The first part, 2 sons and all of that, it's possible. Anything's possible. I could honestly believe that, especially if there's science to prove that. But I just think it's just one of them phenomenons, and I just go back to if we bug out seeing this shit now, imagine whenever time started, the first time a motherfucker seen an eclipse. They probably thought it was the end of the world. We able to prepare for that shit, but imagine, like I said, thousands of years ago, the first time the sun was blacked out. They probably looked up and seen that shit and said, oh my God, everything's about to die. And then 10 minutes later, the sun came back out. But it fucked them up. So, you know, now we got technology. We know what the fuck it is. But imagine if we had no clue what an eclipse was and we woke up and it was just the sun was black for 20 minutes. Niggas would have thought Satan was walking the earth. You know what I'm saying? Like, it would have fucked. But you still have people that think like that. So, you know what I'm saying? So, to fast forward back to your question, answering your question. You know what I mean? So
I think we had that interesting conversation. You asked me if I thought the rapture was coming because of the path of it, right? So I think it's the idea where people like to, because it's unknown, people like to associate certain things and identities to it, right? Because even to your point back in the day of what your thought of this may be, or kind of just even more so to me that seems like more so what the individual was going through, and they found a time and a place to connect it to, right? To the point about the sun, I'm not ready to give humanity that much credit. You feel me? And not on the sense of, not in the sense that we're not capable of it, but more on the sense of, I think it takes away from the aspects kind of the divinity
Of what it is.
Of kind of what it is. And kind of like you said, it's something that can be traced back far beyond this kind of time frame.
Yeah.
So, but to go back on what Z was saying, I feel piggybacking on what you're saying, but actually I feel closer back those times they were closer, like connected to, so they were probably not, they knew of, like, I feel like back then, closer to those times, without the distractions, they probably were like, okay, it's just, let's, whether we need to play, whether we need to praise it or whether we need to run and hide, I think they were probably more connected to the meaning of it than where we are.
Because for them to be able to sit there and set a clock, to figuring out how many times, and set a calendar, how many times the sun rotate around the earth, or the earth rotate around the sun, how many times. So they literally had, okay, the sun is up, let's create some type of thing that we can track this sun from here to here to here to here to here, and this is 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, so on and so forth, you know what I mean? But however they counted it, but like you said, they had a deeper connection to the celestial bodies, if you will, that was out there. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to us. We look up, we don't got that same connection with the sun that they had back in the day. You know what I mean?
I think it's, I agree, disagree, right?
Okay.
I agree that we don't have that connection because we have a lot more kind of distractions.
There you go.
But I also feel like it's, humanity builds on itself. That's kind of what separates humanity away from other species on the planet. Like when we picked up a hammer and it became a hammer way back when, and we learned that it became cognizant. It's a hammer and a tool from that point on. Right. So it's the way we deal with time. I think it's, and even my pushback to that would be this: the way we view time now can't be the way they view time back then. Right. Because time now moves so much faster just because of how information is travel, technology, even just what we're required to know in a certain period of time.
You think they broke it down more seasonal? They went by the weather patterns and shit, as opposed to, like you said, having a clock concept. They had more so, and I'm just only using months because that's the term we use now, but they know from this period to this period it's going to be hot. We need to make sure these crops is planted because when this time period comes, it's going to be cold and we can't plant as more shit. Right. You know what I mean? Like, it was a trial and error thing till they figured out, okay, we need to have 3 months worth of crops because during this cold period, we ain't going to be able to plant shit. Then it's going to kind of get warm again. We'll be able to tend to this, that. So you think they went off that system more than the actual 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock? You know what I mean?
I think that was definitely a part of it, but I think it was more so, I'd even say value for time and kind of how they respect it. I don't think it was, they still had the same amount of time, but it was kind of the way they used it more.
Yeah.
Utilized the time, managed the time.
Hell yeah, because you imagine, you got, let's just say 4 or 5 months from the time spring hit, because you really can't grow some of them crops in the summertime. Some of them you can, but certain shit you got to grow during this time.
I think that it is around agriculture, but I don't necessarily think that that's the sole pivotal point. I think it's more so, if you just look at how that time was spent in different cultures, how they utilized their time, as far as we were talking this earlier, as far as like family, how they spend their time, as far as community, how they dealt with certain attributes and things that were going on around them. So that to me is also how they got connected more so with the sun and nature and being able to design all these things because it's how they spent their time. And I don't think necessarily that they had to. I just think it's that maybe they did because that was their purpose at that time. That was, and I think life back then. My thing is, I think life back then was a lot easier,
simpler.
I would say simpler, not easier. Like, nigga,
because we don't know. Like, I mean, I think the times there's always going to be difficult, like, and it's hard to gauge or judge from where we sit. So I think it's like that's like a touchy scenario to actually be able to judge, because if they could if they would be able to have computers and have the shit they had back then probably they would probably be more efficient, maybe.
I say, okay, so we still have some form of that.
We got
in
off
our
subject too. Now go ahead. No,
so
please.
I feel like we still have some form of that in our world today. Like there's certain indigenous cultures, tribes in this world that don't have all the modern day conveniences that we are. And I think we're speaking from a very American perspective. There's a lot of people on this earth that don't have.
Yeah, because you said it's easier back then.
But let me say, this is why I say it's easier. Is because even if you look at it from the standpoint of, we look at it aspects of manual labor and think how hard.
Right.
But you gotta look at it. When I say easier, look at all the stuff that they don't have to worry about. Look at all the stuff when it's easier. You have.
I'm trying to see the trade-off benefits, like, because could you imagine having to hunt the food and it's just a bad hunt for 2 weeks where you only bringing back a certain amount?
Say that again.
Having to hunt food
all
to
right,
where it's
one
just
more time.
Having to hunt food
Thank you.
to where it's just a bad hunt.
We ain't hunting.
So for 2 weeks, you didn't bring enough meat, home to really sustain for a month. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to you have a bad week at work, you can't buy as many groceries. So it's like, okay, y'all, we got to ration this out. You still got a couple hours to go buy your groceries. But nigga, you broke your best hunting axe, and now you gotta figure out how to fix this shit, and then go get a hog and bring this shit home. I mean, like I said, I really can't understand that because I've never had to do that, so it's just hard to make the comparison. But I don't know, D. I think I could survive way more now.
All right, before you answer that, right? Yeah, before you answer that, because that shit is my personal opinion about time. Though I feel like we're being confused about what time really is, first of all. So I think like time and then the illusion of how dumb they were at a certain time also keeps us not understanding how far like BC or AD was. Like can y'all verify before we jump back to the topic, how long ago were these times?
Nah, I wouldn't know a time. I would just know for me, I say the beginning of evolution. Whenever man started to,
when they were naked,
right,
Adam and Eve.
I'll narrow it down even simpler and say like
you said, who knows the time?
Take it back to like 18 time, not slavery aspect, but just like frontier America aspect, right?
Right.
And the reason I say that they were, to your point,
but slavery was active.
But this is what I'm saying is I feel when I say it's easier because you don't necessarily have to worry about so many different things. You don't have to worry about like what you have to worry about is
slavery.
That alone, for real. Right?
That overtakes everything.
It's very impressive, but it's all that shit. But what I'm saying, like, say that's all, if that can't be off the table, but that's not the worry of this person in this scenario.
I got you.
So, like Cuzzo, what up?
Like the day to day.
Yeah, the day to day. Like you have to worry about 5 acres.
Right,
and managing that 5 acres. Right. And it sounds like a lot for all the stuff you got to do because of all the conveniences we have to go get it. But you also, like you talking about, you may not hunt, but on that 5 acres, you also
real quick, who gave this nigga 5 acres?
Nigga, when I think
slavery's coming. Here come the sheets.
Slavery's coming.
Same way.
You got 5 acres.
All right. To cap this off, right? Yeah. To cap this off, because I know we got to get to
back to the.
But
the crazy lady was.
Who do you think if you flip flop society, whatever, no matter what time, like you said, we use the 1800s as the reference, and if you flip flopped us, who would adapt faster? Would they adapt to our shit faster, or we adapt to their shit faster?
I mean, we've got training on the internet, so like,
no,
like if you take away I think
nigga said we got training on the internet.
Like, if you bring them niggas out here now, niggas
was dying
sorcery.
Niggas was
Wait,
dying from the
wizardry.
clap back then. Like you couldn't even get no penicillin in time. Nigga, you
Yeah,
just
oof.
dropped dead. So shit. That's what I'm saying. You still gotta live in those times. So who gonna
Malaria?
adapt? yeah. Yellow fever and shit.
If you put this generation right now in the 60s,
Yo, we'll be hung.
Let alone
We'll be hosed and
okay,
water.
so put them even to me.
Yeah, we soft as shit. We ain't going back then.
Yeah,
we not built for that.
Our greatest fear is that the grid shuts down and we don't have power.
Exactly.
So like you talking about?
You right.
How
Yeah,
we
we
gonna
go
hunt?
back then.
Only thing
Well,
that
I'm
was
a
dinner?
country, so I'm a live. Y'all.
I mean, but it depends what you hunting. Like, I mean,
at that point,
only thing that
meat
would
is
fuck
meat.
them
I
up
could
is
get a
to fast
cow.
forward them to
Meat is
now
meat.
though. But if we see, all right, we look at now fast
I'll
forward
fuck a
them
chicken up.
motherfuckers to now, and they got to just start driving, going up elevator, little simple shit like going up an elevator. Niggas gonna be dying and shit, falling out this shit like little shit that they just ain't gonna know.
but I think
Phones
they'll
and
adapt.
shit.
Though. I think they'll adapt better.
That
I
shit.
think
Yeah, they'll adapt definitely, but it's gonna be way more
Yeah.
severe accidents and shit. It might be a lot more deaths. Niggas
Who
gonna
you
be pushing
think?
they
buttons.
just
Nah,
wanna
I think
drive.
we'll die first.
They just gonna drive. We definitely-
If you send us back to 1800,
It's wild. beast.
slave trade and all that, or the ships and all that, and you be like, yo, who the fuck is in charge? Yo, that whip hit you for the first time, nigga. You like, oh, yo, that shit is, yo, that shit. You're like,
Right. But I think it's
Shit.
the reason I feel like they have a better chance of surviving than us is simply because they don't have to deal with like wild beasts on the prairie and shit. Like it's
Fucking Wolverine come and bite your leg off and shit. All
it's
kind
packs
of
of
shit.
wolves out here.
Hell
man. You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like you gonna try to go. Even you got to go
we
hunt
crazy,
bison. Like you gonna die.
Yo,
On a
all right,
bison.
look. Yeah, but okay, Shorty is definitely wrong
Yeah, she
for
fucked up.
all that MDK that she got going on.
Yes.
I don't even like talk about it because kids were involved.
Yeah, it's sad.
You know what I'm saying? Which is a sad thing because we're gonna talk about women and men a little bit later on in the podcast. I think this would be a good time for us to take a quick commercial break and we can come back with the ins and outs because we got a long show. We want to get everything taken care of. Pause. So we gonna take a quick commercial break
And we be back in 2 and 2, motherfuckers.
Bing bang.
Yeah, that shit, yo. Cause you a bad
PMP Show.
Man, these niggas bullshit me this time, I swear. Who that? Lil Lou? What the fuck you doing out here with no clothes on? Fuck is all that blood from? Well, you better back the fuck up, I'm telling you. I don't play no dumb shit now. Man, what the fuck wrong with this nigga?
If we look at the average American man, he don't even make $60,000 a year. The average American woman don't even make $50,000 a year. If you look at the labor statistics, why is everybody tripping off this six-figure thing? If the average, we're not talking about the 1 to 10 percenters. We're talking about the average American don't make six figures. I was looking at a study, I believe last year. It said that only 21% of men in America make $100,000 a year. Out of that 20%, only 8% are Black men. So it's not necessarily the dollar amount. I think women are having a hard time explaining what it is that they want. Six figures don't mean he's generous, first and foremost. You know, when you are around, you know, money, men with means, that don't mean they generous. Like, that's why I said it has to be the lifestyle. So if we're all, if those in that income bracket is making similar, Your lifestyles may be similar. You should be looking for somebody that has a similar lifestyle than you. There's nothing wrong with leveling up.
Peace and love.
Yo, we about to come back. 5. Yo, we are back. Yo,
Yes.
Hesitation. So my input.
Giving our shout outs.
We love our people.
Yes.
Like our day ones and shit. So we gonna stop the show for a second if some real day ones come on the line. So salute to you, brother. But as far as I want to touch that too, if you don't mind. But
I mean, basically what she's saying is like, if you're just doing the math, right? Like women always talking about, I want a man that makes 6 figures. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the consensus, right? So she's basically saying the average person don't even make 6 figures. So when we start breaking down the numbers, she said 21% of men make 6 figures in America. 8% of those men are black. You got to figure 2 to 3% of them are already eliminated off the table, whether old, young, married, gay, straight, whatever the fuck. Just take them out of there. So that leaves you women who are looking for all these imaginary men.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? There's 5% of them left. Now, process, whatever, you know what I mean? You got to narrow that number down. So y'all are fighting over scraps if this is what you're looking for. You know what I'm saying? And then she made a good point. You don't even make 6 figures. So why are you looking for someone who's above your pay grade?
Boy,
like,
you on point.
He's not going to be generous, like she said. You don't know if this nigga's generous or not. So it's just something to think about. We all I don't make 6 figures, you know what I'm saying? Like, you do certain things to kind of compensate and get there, but on paper, I don't make 6 figures, you know what I mean? So,
what we do off the side,
yeah, exactly.
Either way, either way,
you got to keep one of them. But yeah, tax-wise, I don't make 6 figures.
So, either way, okay, I'm with that. Like, this stigma that, they looking for a superhero.
Right.
Like, we said this many episodes ago. Like, we said that, they're looking for somebody who don't even exist. Mm-hmm. They creating this whole, he got to be this, he gonna buy me this. Like, this super nigga. This is what I call him. Y'all looking for super nigga. Like, he do this, don't do that. He don't do that, he don't do that. And then you'll never find him. And you're gonna be old and miserable.
Right.
I'm sorry to say it this way. But waiting for super nigga or super dude who don't exist, y'all heard the logic and the numbers that were just given.
Right. So my theory on this is this. I believe through aspects of like Disney, television, especially during our era's 90 R&B, women were sold a lie. Yeah. Right? They were sold a lie, the concept of a man that is that superhero that just kind of comes in and takes over, does everything. And I heard somebody say it was on the gram. Women are taught what to expect from a man, and so they have that fairy tale identity of kind of like Prince Charming, gonna come in and sweep them off their feet, but they're never taught how to treat a man. So it stops for them when relationships begin, in a sense, and unless they get to see that, it's only the fairy tale of he comes in, saves me from the dragon, sweeps me off their feet. Men, on the other hand, are taught how to treat women, but are never taught what to expect. So
we talk about this later. This specifically, we talk about this later on in the thing. I think we should, being as it's an in and out, we should just touch the surface and jump off to the other one, to the next one. So
you got any closing thought? Did you even say something about it? What she said about the 6-figure thing? Did you?
I mean, really, I was just saying. I was just, first of all, we got to come. Like, if nowadays, if you're not trying to come together and make at least that 100, because you're worrying about the wrong thing.
Right.
So, I think.
That's gonna say is, to me, that's what it comes down to is we make this amount.
Exactly.
And when it comes down to we do this together, there's 6 figures is just the beginning of it. Because together, y'all, and that's the idea of what marriage is.
How we gonna grow this thing?
Yeah. If I come in and I'm making 50, I'm not planning on staying at 50. That's
right,
where I'm starting at.
Right, correct. Yeah, but not even marriage in a sense, but just still coming together.
Real
like
quick.
she's saying. Yeah, go ahead.
Real quick. Does that go into the masculine feminine conversation we was having earlier too? To where most women think that because that's what masculine energy gives off. Does that play into that a little bit? to where we gotta not give them a pass per se, but that's just something that comes with masculinity.
Masculinity.
I think that. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I think that comes with the misunderstanding of what a relationship is, and it's not masculine or feminine, but it's understanding. Yes, I'm coming in this to serve you, and you're coming in this to serve me. But in that sense, we have no limit on the goals that we can reach and set those.
Not necessarily the dollar amount, the comfortability that financially he can control it. Not necessarily he got to make. I'm just going back, take the dollar amount off of it now, just to.
I don't even think it's the aspects of he can control it. I think it's the aspects of when you realize that it's a partnership and that it's two of y'all working together, then it becomes a situation of, because we both like shoes, right? So what happens if y'all got a common goal of buying a house or going somewhere and you
got to sacrifice
and you go dip in and spend like
you know how we buy shoes.
Exactly. Now you got to be accountable to that. So that's what I mean, a partnership where it's like both are accountable and we trying to get to a meal, and until we get to that point, we both on,
So all right, but we're gonna close out on that because we got a comment from Rodney. He said, "Meanwhile, we forgot that we are together because of love, and we like being with each other. But then capitalism puts the complications of money roles." So that's pretty much what we're talking about in a nutshell about it. Because really, it's supposed to be about unity together, love, and enjoying each other's company.
One common goal.
Marriage is a business still.
Definitely. So let's go ahead and move on to the next one.
Roll that beautiful being footage.
It all started when Curtis Jack got his co-worker pregnant. She told police Curtis tried to get her to terminate the pregnancy for the entire 9 months. Once she had the baby, she had to stay in the hospital. So she told the father to come pick up breast milk from her and take it to the baby at the grandmother's house. Curtis told police he put antifreeze in the milk because he didn't want to pay child support.
That could have killed that child.
Yes.
It didn't. But once Curtis was indicted and faced several charges, including attempted murder, he took back his confession. So detectives and the DA's office had to work even harder to make sure the case was solid and they got...
Idiot. First of all, child's like I mean, if you make a mistake and get a bitch pregnant, excuse my French, but if you make a mistake and get a female pregnant in this day and age, as a grown man,
female is offensive now too, right?
Female, well, so
right.
So what?
You know what they say?
Yeah.
Because they say you call a dog a female. That's why they say it's offensive.
I swear to God.
It's been
look,
facts.
all right, real
I ain't mean to throw you off, but just in case somebody attacks you for that.
Yo, bro, like we don't on this platform. We say we don't want to offend anybody, but we gonna say things how they were by nature.
Yeah.
So we gonna speak on nature. So
Redskins.
right. Yeah, we don't. Yeah, I don't even like the Commanders anymore. Just for that. But anyway, like you can still say the Chiefs. You can still say
the Braves.
The Braves.
Yeah.
So come on, like it's whatever they want feasible for them to be offensive. But this female, like if you get what now I got distracted because you can't say what you want to say. But if you get a female pregnant as a grown man, you already know what the consequences are, right?
Exactly.
It's time to step up to the plate, and you know if you're not going to be with her, she's going to get child support. You know this. The fact that you are trying to MDK the kids by putting what was it? Antifreeze in the baby's formula. Bro, I mean, I wish we could see you live. Like, we would river dance on your face. Bro, that's fine.
You better pray they put you in PC, which more than likely they are. But I just hope it's a grimy CO in there or a sheriff, because you in the county right now. You ain't made it to prison yet. I hope it's a grimy sheriff in there that just say, hey, y'all, and put you in population for like 30 minutes and be like, oops.
Yeah.
I ain't mean to do that.
Yeah.
And you are fooled, buddy. I guarantee you.
He going to mass.
Yeah.
He ain't going to.
Nah.
You know they not.
I'm gonna say this. One, he needs to be unalive Yep.
Yeah.
Immediately without conversation.
Yeah,
right?
so that should be automatic death penalty, like for me.
Right.
Multiple counts.
But I will say this: that starts another and a very interesting conversation about what rights does the father have in a situation where he's clearly stated and said,
You didn't want to be
I don't want to be.
We've had a discussion before.
Yeah, we had that time. We had this
you know what I'm
talk.
saying? So to me, at some point in time, that has to be a discussion and begin. And I'm not saying that. And I know a lot of people say that's deadbeat. But I think at the same time, if it takes two to tango, it has to be two to make a decision.
But
in all aspects, no, you cannot tell a woman to do with her body.
I'm not saying that part. Like
I agree.
Like I'm agreeing. Like we both agreeing. But what I'm saying is, like me and you talk about the reason why masculine, like even with the household, why we are the leader. So we are the leader of that situation. That's like I feel like men we are the logical thinkers. So knowing that you're gonna knowing you don't you know the risk of it. That's your responsibility if you accidentally slip up and put a baby, because you could have easily strapped up. You could have but you didn't. Either you gotta handle it. You can't. I can't give them
I'm not giving
sympathy.
this man a pause on any sympathy.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I already said that from the beginning.
Okay.
Unalive him immediately.
Yeah.
All that I'm saying is,
I feel what you're saying though, because it's like clearly, if I'm saying I don't want to have a kid, I mean a woman could do that easily and not be a mother.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? But
they have the power. Okay.
from the other side of it, and this is the other side. What if there's a father? And I can tell you, I know this situation many times, and not personally, but other people I've heard that want, and they're saying, listen, have my child, give me my child, and I'll take care of it. Mm-hmm. And there, you can't tell me what to do. Mm-hmm. And so it's not a situation, some may say, well, it's a dad that don't want to have a child, but there's also a situation where it's like, hey, yo, that's my seed. Mm-hmm. Like, give me my seed and go on about your business. And so, but it's always a double side of the coin. And all I'm saying is,
do you think? So we always talk about this. So real quick to interrupt, double standards. Like it's just the way things. Like it's just
some double standards are needed.
I'm right. So like even in this situation, like
exists. You can't.
It's just the way things are. Like it just comes to a point as that's why I'm saying. I'm putting the responsibility though, and and I'm sure we all teach this way. Like there are actions. For every action, there's an equal reaction. I guess the equal or stronger react. I don't know if I'm saying it correctly, but
every reaction is a reaction.
Yeah. So if not, like going in and I feel for niggas who accidentally have bitches with babies. Excuse me, have babies with females, and then they accidentally, get her pregnant. Because for myself, I've been in a situation like that, and if she would have said she wanted to.
But
like y'all saying, we don't have no say so in the matter.
Not really, unless you decide like, look, I got to, and that's kind of fucked up because it's like the only way you really. I mean, I was about to laugh.
Right. So
I was.
Yeah. So
it's fucked up. Like
so
how niggas got no power. Like we like superheroes with no power.
Right. So here's the thing: you got a young man that gets a young woman pregnant, right?
Yes. So we got we tiptoeing around this.
Right. And so he knows that he's not in a financial situation. He knows that he's, not able to take care of this, right? And so he's going to basically be condemning this child to poverty because, say for instance, it happens we were young, right? Yeah. It happens, he's in college. He's going to have to drop out of college. He's going to have to get a job. That means he's never going to make it to that $60,000 total or that six-figure total. He's going to have to work. He's going to be hard labor. He's going to do all of this, right, for the rest of his life. Whereas if he stays in college and has the opportunity to,
I think that's still a gamble.
But if he has to stay,
it's always going to be something.
It always gonna be something, but I think that it's in the sense of manning up. It should be looked at more in the terms of take care of your responsibility. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you
put yourself on hold.
Yeah, put yourself on hold. And I think it becomes a situation of if we make this decision, and again, that's where it goes back to me with partnership is this is our decision to do this, and even still, if you make the decision to do this, I can go on and I can be a part of the child's life, but that doesn't mean that mine has to stop right here at this decision, because that's to me is saying, yeah, you can be responsible, and some bad decisions hold greater waste than others, but it's not in the sense of you shouldn't be penalized if you don't so-called, especially with our generation, called step up to the plate type deal.
I mean, see, but I feel like all that shit is true though. But this is what I think when I say masculine. Like, this is what the like when we were talking about like what masculine was, like this is just something that's like something that expresses masculinity. If you have a seed, the masculine thing to do, regardless of the intentions of the female or whatever she has going, that's just like the masculine thing to do would be do what you have to do for the child, right?
Agreed.
So, and I feel like a lot of times, you know, we say stuff like, yeah, they got the control, which they do, right? But we still have control still to, if we want to, if we really wanted to, we could do a whole lot more. And I'm speaking off of personal, like it's like this, like if we really wanted to, it's more that we could actually do. But really, to be honest, society has it to the point where child support, right? Mm-hmm. Child support is almost like a judging point of it. Like, okay, so
probation.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but
it is.
But it's like a you're paying child support for real. It's hard. Speaking of experience, because I'm not rich, we talked about, you know, how much money niggas is making. After paying child support, we really busting our ass to make the extra shit and the go hard shit happen. Because you still got Christmas, you still got birthdays, you still got, oh, Dad, I need, or something's coming up. So I think that as a man, no matter what the female talk about, if you slipped up, if not, don't slip up.
Right, don't slip up.
Don't slip up, because we're in control of this world. Supposed to be. We're supposed to be in control because we make the logical decisions. The problem is we not making logical decisions, and then want to be mad at the fact that we shift control to them to now make total control because you slipped up and didn't take control of the situation early. Right. Make sure you don't just put a baby. And I think that's where we're going to talk about all this later about the generation that's dropping the ball and to why we even in this situation that we even talking about.
Right.
So I think we should just jump to the next one so we can.
Yeah, wasn't that about the guy with the baby in the formula?
Yeah,
fuck that guy.
But he was ducking child support.
Yeah, I mean he did it for the $1,000. Yeah, but fuck
yeah,
him.
He's
That
doing
was
the duck child support.
Yeah, get him out of here.
Unalive him immediately.
Please. Next one.
Sure.
If older people don't listen to younger people, they become slow amongst older people. When younger people don't listen to older people, they become slower amongst younger people. If young people would listen to older people, they move faster amongst younger people because you got advanced knowledge.
Right.
And when older people listen to younger people, we move faster in the older world because you got new knowledge.
I agree with that.
Hey, the teacher always dropping some gems, man. Like,
yeah, that's a quick one. Everybody in the panel I'm sure we agree because when you intertwine with the kids, you're still caught up on the what's going on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then when the older, you know, when they listen to us, when they're around their friends and they know things, they adapted quicker. They like, oh, okay, they told me about this. So I think that's great knowledge, like quick message.
Yeah, that's good. Just solid.
Right, yeah, I can't even follow that up. Like you said, it's self-explanatory.
All right, let's go. Let's move to the next one.
Listen, men need affection just as much, if not more, than they need that thing. That thing is not enough. You've got to talk to your man. Check on where he's at with his goals and with his problems. Check on where he's at mentally and spiritually. And you've got to touch that man. And I don't mean his private area. I mean everywhere but his private area. It's just as important, okay? His back matters. His feet matter. His shoulders matter. His head matters. Give him a scalp massage, okay? Wash his hair. He would love it. You like it, he would love it. Cooking and cleaning and cooking, those are survival skills, okay? Those are not ways to show affection. And if you think I'm sounding crazy, pay attention to the women who have been married for 30 plus years, okay? They done rubbed some feet and they take pride in doing so. They enjoy catering to their man. They like him. I've watched my grandmother scratch my grandfather's back while he's playing video games through her 80s, okay? And she is just sitting there gazing at him like he is the king of the world. And I'm like, how does she still feel this way about this man? But just know, you have to make your man feel wanted and desired. You have to remind him that he is powerful, he is a king, he is capable of all things. And you have to keep feeding him those things he needs to continue to give you the things that you need.
Right.
Yeah, man. Shout out to her. Most women will let that go in one ear and right out the other. Because,
she'll pick me.
Yeah, they're going to start attacking her with words like she'll pick me and all of that. But she's basically saying from male ears and my understanding, she's basically saying, like she said, pussy ain't enough. Cooking and cleaning ain't enough. Those are survival skills. That's not showing your man affection. You know what I'm saying? A shout out to my lady because she is definitely not like that. Like, she mentally, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Stable, gives me that mental massage, you know what I mean? Like, we can sit there and have conversations for hours. Like, it's just certain things that me and her do that sometimes you're like, yo, how the fuck? Like, you too perfect almost, you know what I'm saying? Like, so those are the type of things that she's talking about. Like, you gotta, and men, we do it too, but this is something that all men know. But you know what I'm saying? Most women, I don't think they grasp this concept. Like she said, I honestly believe a lot of women out here just think pussy, cleaning, and cooking food is it. That's showing affection, and that's not, man. That's not.
I'm not gonna say much because, it's kind of different, because I don't know, bro. Like, I agree with everything. Like,
right? No, go ahead.
Like, I'm gonna attack another part of the situation. Like men. Which we're gonna talk about this later with the marriage thing, but men need that masculinity. That masculinity thing doesn't mean we don't need to be told that we are valued or we're important.
Right.
Like, that part of it too makes a lot of it. Like, to let them know that you're still wanted, appreciated, desired, necessarily, not necessarily,
It don't have to be sexual.
It's my job.
Right. Yeah.
Not a job, not a requirement.
Right.
So that's just, I think when, and then here's the part, when we say stuff like that, that's when these niggas nowadays are soft or feminine. Just because it ain't that. It's just that niggas deserve to be valued equally as women. Is all I want to put on my 2 cents.
I think it's a comment earlier about you saying connected to how women learn how to treat men, right?
Yeah.
And we had this conversation. I had with my daughter, is that young women start preparing. You don't prepare to be a wife like in your 20s, and that you start understanding what that is at a very young age, and that's how fathers and daughters' lives help them to understand. And if you know most fathers and daughters, they have a real good relationship.
Right.
And I think that what that teaches them is that a man is a human. You know what I mean? I think in this generation, that's one of the things lost is the male humanity, and that and even more so to me, the more masculine you are, the less of that. Well, what she's saying is what you get, because they forget that you are human. You need to that you need to be fed
emotionally as well.
Yeah. And so it's shit's kind of personal, but in the same sense, that's the conversation that I think is had. Like, that's not, and it's crazy because it's almost it's the Cosby Show, right?
Right.
Like that's the one thing that we saw there is that
Full screen.
Claire,
Full screen.
Claire Huxtable, no matter who Phil or not, Bill was, Cliff was, she treated him in a certain way. She loved him, you know, and that's simply it. Is like you gotta love me too. This ain't just about me loving you and being your knight in shining armor, but it's the aspects of if you really love me, then you gonna do women, and that's the thing is.
Conforming, first of all.
It's not I don't like that word, but you got it. To me, it's the sense of when you really love someone, doing stuff ain't a chore. You know what I mean? It's an enjoyment. Like when, you know, it's like kicking it with your favorite person or whoever that person is. Yeah. It's like, yo, let's go do this. Right. Because whatever it is, we're gonna have a good time. Right. I know we're gonna laugh. I know we're gonna ride out, and then when we get back. Best case scenario, we get to smash. Yeah. Like that's what it is.
Like little stuff like this what I do, right? You know what I'm saying? And like me and my lady do little stuff like this. She does it in her own way, but I do it in my own way. But it's little stuff to where we talking about being affectionate to men. But this is what I do for her. You know what I'm saying? Like we can just be talking, walking by, you know, she's doing laundry, but I'm doing laundry, whatever the case may be. But then in the middle of that, we might walk past each other and I'll just stop her and not even kiss her. Just give her a hug. Just embrace her and be like, girl, I love you. You know what I'm saying? And like give her one of them soft, sensual ass hugs to where she just like, in your arms real quick. Just to let her know. You know what I'm saying? But vice versa for women, you know, when y'all do the little things like, you know, kiss a nigga, whatever it is that y'all do, like that's the type of shit we talk about. It's not necessarily sex. Like I said, fucking a nigga, cooking and cleaning is survival skills. Like Shorty said, that's just shit you gonna do in a relationship. It's the other shit.
It doesn't mean that it's not appreciated. Like
it's appreciated.
Like it's. I mean, for me, like I feel like sometimes personally, like you know, being that we all getting personal. Personally, I'm a needy guy, right? Like I'm mad needy. Like having diabetes, like I'm mad needy. Like, and for real, my wife, and I can understand why she could be tired sometimes of like dealing with me, like on a day to day, to where she could be tired, you know, especially working. Right. So I'm very touchy, you know what I'm saying? So I'm real, you know, I'm one of them needy type niggas. Like I need to be hugged, I need to be touched, I need to be told because like I said, like childhood is a rough thing. You know what I'm saying? And it you carry a lot of trauma and a lot of, you know, issues. So I'm mad needy. So, you know, it's
I think that's the key. Like I think to me is this. Men choose, right? Like that's because and to your point, well, let me say it this way. The cooking, cleaning, all that stuff.
We do that ourselves too.
Huh?
We do that ourselves.
I mean, we do that
as well.
too. But to me, all of that cancels out with paying the bills and kind of like that thing. So we start off at ground zero. However your relationship falls into that role and how that's figured out between y'all two, that cancels out because that's what's mandatory to happen. We can't live in a dirty house. We gotta have a house to live in.
So we both should be cleaning.
Right. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
pick a chore and then get to it.
Yeah. So that's not a situation where you can hold over somebody's head and say.
Right. That's why she was saying that's just the survival skill in a relationship.
Correct. So now we get to the actual relationship and how you all relate to one another.
Yes.
And that's the part where we're talking. To me, I agree with you. It's not it's for me, it's conversation, right? Like being able to just wow the fuck out at any given time, conversation, you know, because what we always trying to build, and even to your point, is building a level of intimacy. It's building a level of like, I chose you, and it's not an arrogant sense of I could have had anybody, but it's it's in the sense of I saw something in you.
Correct.
And and it was special.
Correct.
So to us, it's not it is a touchy, but I'm always trying to get to that and what it is.
Yeah.
And always trying to get to know you as a person, so that I can be so that I can learn how to basically ultimately just love you better.
But yeah, and that's all we want to do as men. When you find that one, you just want to be, like Jimmy said, sometimes, you can be a little too much. It's just like, nah, I just want to be the perfect one for you. So help me help this relationship by what can we be. But in the midst of that, ladies, we still saying, throw a nigga a bone every now and then, pat a nigga on the back, whatever the case may be. That you know how to rub stroke your man's ego, pause the right way to where
no pause.
He's gonna be all right. You know what I'm saying?
Ego.
Right.
I'm gonna say golden rule, right? Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. So if you want that shit done to you, that man's a human. Right. Do that shit to him.
Enough said. Let's go ahead and check out this next one.
Oh well, shit. Hold on. What the fuck? So check for a second.
Yeah. But
I thought we were just gonna edit that.
Yeah.
It's all
good. But
all good. This nigga.
Yeah, that topic there.
Over here.
He's working on
but
the
it's all
project.
good. Here we go right now.
Yeah, check this one out.
We know you're a convicted rapist. This could hurt his campaign. How would you respond to that? Hey, I don't know who said that. You're the only one I heard say that. It's so interesting because you come across like a nice guy, but you're really a piece of shit. Hey, with that comment. Come on. No, that was a piece of fuck you. That was a piece of shit.
We're doing live TV.
Hey, I don't care. What are you gonna do about it?
All right. Is it nerve-wracking for you to do something like this, or is it more nervous for you to box?
It's more nerve-wracking for me to hear talking to a rat piece of shit like you.
Come on, Mike.
No, because you're a piece of shit.
All right.
You really didn't have to.
We're gonna wrap up this interview. Thank you for coming in.
Fuck you.
Yo,
what are you gonna do? Mike Tyson talking reckless to you like that. What are you gonna do?
I mean, but he disrespected him.
And he straight up asked him, what are you gonna do?
Yo, but to hear what he asked him though, the question he asked him, he said, "Well, yeah, you're running around with this guy. How's people gonna feel that with the rape charges?" Yeah. So he's like, "Hold on, who the fuck? Yo, you're a piece of shit." From there, he just, he wouldn't let the interview go. Come on, we're on live TV.
Right.
So what?
And I kind of remember
you
that
asked
too.
me to shit on live TV too.
Slap somebody in media. But
I was gonna say the fact that he told the nigga I'll fuck you up, and what are you gonna do about it?
Most Mike Tyson comment ever.
Right, and it is like, hold on. In reality, what the fuck are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do? Is Mike Tyson not too far removed from his prime, bro?
Yo, he didn't want to say cut. Cause
nigga said, "Hey, man, you don't want live TV."
You a rap.
What are you gonna do about it?
Again, what are you gonna do?
Then he tried to get back to the question. Yo, don't say shit. Yo, he should have said, "I'm sorry. I apologize."
They just kept it pushing.
They kept it pushing, man.
But I hate when they do that though. That's the straight time coonery, right? Like, why would you? And even I saw something earlier about OJ. Not to get off subject. Yeah. They did the same thing to him when Kobe passed. What's Shorty on the
Didn't Gail say some foul shit? One of them brought up the rape allegations when Kobe passed.
Yeah.
I can't remember which one of them.
Yeah, but Shorty on ESPN always doing it to black athletes too.
I tell you something real quick, right? This is something funny. If I ever come around the corner and I hear Mike Tyson talking to one of y'all like that,
I might not come around the corner. I'm not coming around the corner.
No, I'm coming to step in, but I'm gonna make sure Tyson see me. Like I'm gonna step at it in his view. Like, yo, everything okay? No, I'm not gonna try to step behind him because he might just bang. He's turning around.
The second you turn the corner, bro, he's gonna hit you.
Yeah,
he's like, I know all your podcast niggas. This is a gang, isn't it?
Let me see how you
suck it, bro. Gang? Bring him on.
At some point in time, I ride, right? Yeah. Right. Ride, fight to the core. Yes. But I want to know what the fuck did you say to Mike Tyson? Let's start there.
Why did you bother this man?
What did you do? Let's discuss that.
Right.
I mean,
take accountability.
Right.
I would have a hard time fighting my hero. You know what I'm saying? Like,
gonna tell you, it all
Nigga, you
depends
are-
on the circumstance.
Like if I came around the
It all
corner,
depends on the
like boxing
circumstance,
him.
you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
like, I mean,
It all depends
but-
on the circumstance. Like, I don't want to fight Mike Tyson.
Hell
Let's keep it
no,
real.
who the
But here's
hell?
the thing.
Speaking of which, we just hyped up the
Yeah. Jake Paul's.
him and Paul.
Yeah.
But here's the thing.
He's gonna
At the same time,
he's gonna be properly.
you know what I'm saying? I don't want my people's fighting Mike Tyson either. So if I turn the corner,
Zoom in.
and my
On
brother,
who's saying this? Go ahead. No.
if I turn the corner,
No, we're not talking about.
and my motherfucking brother is sitting there, and Tyson's like, "Fuck you gonna do about it? I'll fuck your ass up." You know what I'm saying? Nigga,
Go ahead. What are you doing?
You see how you rapping now? That's what you might start doing. Like, yo,
What are you doing? You're
No, fuck
thinking.
that shit. I'm gonna yell, "Run, nigga, run!" Like, because that's your only option. That is the only logical option in this situation.
Nah,
well,
I got a better idea.
Tyson
I got a better
see
idea.
Huh?
That's what I'm saying.
You know, depends on the angle. Does Tyson see?
Nah,
me?
he- I know Paul
I'm gonna
stands
hit him
around
in the
there
head with
somewhere.
something and I'm running, and he need to run too.
Because
You know
that's
I'm
what
saying?
I was saying. Because if you try to snuff Tyson and this
Nah, I'm
nigga
not gonna
weave
try to
that
snuff
shit,
him.
and
I'm
he
not gonna
weave,
snuff
or
him.
either he
Bro.
weave it or eat it,
I can't believe you said that.
Bro,
my
have
nigga.
you seen this man?
Bro,
video?
first of all,
That's what I'm
He's
saying.
weaving it.
And it's just some of that shit is muscle memory. So he might just whoop.
I'm gonna try to hit him
Right.
in the back of the
Your
head
body.
with some shit and run like a motherfucker, bro.
No, then he could be. Oh
listen,
yeah, that's what I was waiting.
I mean, yeah, but
I've been waiting for him
then we
back.
gotta see. But we know Tyson. We know his wind. How long is he gonna run?
Oh, he ain't.
Right.
He's
I
winning
mean,
probably.
that-
hard.
That is your best
Bro,
bet.
he's in shape.
To me, if you get in a fight with Mike Tyson,
Why
I
are we
don't-
saying this anyway?
but because there was, I don't know.
Because we wasn't. There is no smoke with PNP show.
No smoke with us at all. But I'm saying, if I know he's your hero,
This idiot who said that.
I think
though.
everybody
Yeah,
here
that's
has
easy.
made it clear that we do not want to fight
Yeah,
Mike
at all.
Tyson.
But what I'm saying, if
Yeah, so y'all still give
Not
me
at all.
Yeah,
situations.
if you get in a fight with him and you don't have any way out, and you
That's
might
different.
not wanting to fight your hero, like you need to fight with all your life. At any point in time you get in a fight with Mike Tyson, like you need to be looking for objects. Fuck the
Thank
fist.
you. That's what I'm saying. I'm hit him in the back of the head with some shit, and I'm running. I'm hoping my brother's running too. Because if my brother didn't get the cue,
Yo, but here's
that's
the
on
thing.
him.
Yo,
I
real
did
talk,
what
real
I had
talk
to
though.
do.
Real talk though. If I had to, and I had to go fight him, I'm gonna go fight him,
You crazy?
bro. I would.
No, I'm gonna become.
I would
a
too.
world-
I would.
That's
I
what I
would.
hate about
If
me.
I had to,
That's what I hate about me.
like,
If I had
if I had
to-
no, like, if I come in,
Yeah, I
here,
mean, yeah. If it's you,
like
if you
we
just
pull up, like
had
you
to.
said, and he was like, "Yo, what, motherfucker?"
You know
and
what
I
I'm
could
saying?
help, like he about to go at Z or like anybody else. And
I walk
I'm
into
like,
the room,
what? He
Tyson
gonna need
smack
help.
my mom. So.
Oh yeah, see, yeah. Come on, now. It's to the death at that point.
Like, at that point, I'm like, well,
Yo,
this is it for me.
I'm gonna say somebody,
Because-
somebody hit the car alarm. Maybe just let the siren go on the car alarm.
No.
Maybe somebody come help.
Boy, that first uppercut is going
It's
to
gonna be
hurt.
vicious as fuck. And I'm gonna tell you right now.
If Tyson connects with a right hook or left
And
hook,
he hit me.
no, if he hits you in your head, you're dead. You're dead. That's what raw like bare knuckle. So that is what you're up against in any situation
Yeah,
against.
but he just smacked the fuck out of my mom.
Yo,
son.
I dig that, and I understand that. But
She'll
you
live
need
off
to
a
get to a
slap.
place to where, in my mind, you and your mom need to get to the best case to try to make it out of that situation. Because if he just smacked the shit out of your mom, she needs to
set
go
the
to the
dog on
hospital. And you running up on Mike Tyson and barking, that chihuahua barking at this
Not
goddamn.
barking.
What you gonna do?
Set it off.
Hitting him with something.
It's not gonna matter. He's gonna
It's
hit.
worth the effort. Though,
It's
is what
worth
he's
the
saying.
effort. He smacked my mother. And if
Yeah.
I have to die for that,
So
that's a
be
very
it.
unfortunate story for me.
So be it.
Yeah.
Some people have
If he
the
dies,
Achilles
he dies.
gene. Some people would not allow blaspheme or any kind of foreign object to touch their family. Like some people just built that way.
And we also have to ask ourselves, which Tyson are we talking about right now?
Right now, like
don't matter.
fighting
Right
Paul
now?
tomorrow.
Right now, I mean, he's in shape right now. But I'm gonna tell you,
Yo, would you
Got a
rather?
better chance.
if he go
Would you-
out there on that shit that he was
Got a
on
way
with
better
goddamn it Roy Jones, then goddamn it, he might take a L.
I'd try Roy Jones.
I'm just
Y'all
saying,
wild.
if he go out
Before
there on
Mike
the same
Tyson.
shit,
Y'all wow. Before Mike Tyson, but you got like this is crazy to me.
He said, "Whoa,
That's
yeah,
like
we
saying
took trained assassin."
right.
This is a train. I'm
That
talking
shit
shit.
still gonna
Never
hurt,
mind.
boy.
Nah, bro, these are professionals.
Yeah, my
fighters.
bad.
That shit
Yo,
still
let's
gonna
move.
hurt.
Yeah, let's move to the next story. Yeah, we was. Yo, but that nigga was an idiot though. But anyway, let's go to.
Roy Jones might be worse than Tyson. So I'm gonna really, literally just flatline you. Roy might play with you. Bye bye.
Nah, but he like Larry Holmes now. He getting flabby and sick, bro. Like he ain't the same. He ain't the same.
So that means that his hand speed has just failed to ours.
Yeah.
Tyson getting kicked straight in the fucking nuts, yo.
Who's more intimidating? Though? Like regardless
Tyson,
of
definitely.
that, like
I'm not.
As soon as they step in the ring, I'm like, yo, what's up? Like
You gonna kick Tyson in that? And then that's when all the sanity gonna fall off, and he gonna turn into the real bite your ear off type person.
Yeah, I know.
There's some situations.
Sad story for me, man, but my mom's gotta get out of this, man.
Yeah, we gonna get her to a hospital, and we gonna kick.
Yeah, let's go to the next one, man. Damn. Yeah, marriage talk. It's still on the same topic about marriage. Like men don't want, you know what I'm saying? Men don't just want coochie or sex. Men can also, like y'all said, you know, what she said in the video was men can cook, they can clean, they can do these things. These are life. What'd you say? Lifestyle.
She said survival.
So yeah, these are survival skills.
You know what I'm saying? Like yeah.
And to make a marriage work, she said what you have to do is you have to come in the state of mind of being 50-50. It's, you know, and coming together and compromising. You know, trying to find a way to make it work. So men who are looking for marriage, if they decide to marry you, there's a reason why. You know what I'm saying?
You just made me think of a slogan we gonna trademark for the PMP brand. We got the artist right here that's gonna draw up a dope logo. Let's go 50-50 on happiness.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
That's what life is all about, right? Finding that one motherfucker to go 50-50 on happiness. And whatever your happiness consists of, if you can find that person to give you the other half of that,
I like that.
It's a perfect relationship.
Say that one more time.
Let's go 50-50 on happiness.
50-50. I like that as an episode name too, man.
Yeah.
50-50 on happiness, because we've been talking about both sexes and you know not getting along. So yeah, we're gonna trademark that.
Yeah,
50-50 on happiness.
On happiness, yeah, man.
That's dope. Let's check out this next one. That was fire, bro.
Yeah, you made me think of that when you said what you had said about coming together.
Compromise.
It's 50-50 in a relationship, yeah. You know.
But the most important we left out too is when you fail, though, you gotta be able to compensate.
This shit is getting out of control is the consensus amongst the panel right now. Like everybody's sitting there looking at this shit, just shaking their head like, yo, like, and like again, you know, we was all sitting there talking about, yeah, you can kind of see the little outline. It still looks a little cartoonish, just a little bit, but they gonna tweak it. Yeah, they gonna tweak it and do all of this. Next thing you know, somebody send a video to your wife extorting you, or send a video to you extorting you, saying, hey, you don't give me X amount of money, I'm gonna send this to your wife, and it's you getting head from a dude. Pause. Wow. You know what I'm saying? And you know that wasn't you.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? But you know that, or somebody blackmailing you on some shit just to get some bread out of you. I'm gonna release this on the internet, and it ain't even you, bro. You know for a fucking fact that ain't you, but you can't prove it.
So I'm gonna tell you the flip side of how I see it, right? already got an idea, not me personally, but like you can plan a perfect robbery and have a whole alibi.
He said not me personally.
You just clear that up. Let's make sure this is out here fair as anybody watching ain't playing shit. But what I am saying, think about this. You can have that picture and that image with you sitting in your house or at a bar or at some location, right?
Right.
And go commit a robbery. Come back.
Yeah.
What's to say, as long as you on your Ring camera and it's you sitting there,
right?
And you can, they can't say that it's not you.
Exactly.
And if technology gets to that point, I think that's where we're getting to where
you said you can manipulate.
And this just for all the 90s and geeks out there.
Right.
You know they got some shit that they invented called Skynet.
Get the fuck out of here. Oh, that's it. It's over. It's over. That once you tell me some shit like that, and they really made Skynet, and if you don't know what Skynet is, that is the company that created the Terminator in that franchise. So you see where that shit went.
That's kind of insane, man. I'm scared of AI because I'm considered AI like some kind of antichrist, some way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, just I don't know. Whatever. Fuck it. Yeah, we can go to the next one. Scared of AI.
Standing off to the side, apparently translating every word, this woman.
We received over 5,000 tips in this case.
But it turns out much of what she was signing was nonsense. She waved her arms around like she was singing Jingle Bells, says one outraged sign language expert. The woman, identified as Derlin Roberts, has a string of arrests for fraud. So how did she come to be translating at last week's high-profile police news conference?
I just didn't ask.
Yeah, this chick is. That's crazy, man. Like, how do you fake sign language?
Sicko are you? That you want to do fake sign language?
That makes her a fucking bozo.
No, I'm gonna tell you what makes her a bozo. Like this person was sign language for the cops. Like you inside the precinct.
Court. You in court swearing in front of
doing some
everybody.
stupidness. Like they not gonna get called in. Like how you go to lock her down? Like
yo, here's how she got caught. I know how she got caught. There was somebody who does sign. They were sitting in there like, yeah, what the fuck is going on?
Right.
Yo, what is he talking about?
Gave him a seizure.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you why she was able to rock out for so long, because the person that know that didn't think she was signing. They thought she was just doing some other shit part of the choreography. Until they realized, wait, is this bitch supposed to be signing? Because that shit ain't nothing. Then they made the phone call. They let her rock for like 5 minutes thinking she was doing some old other shit like that. I know she ain't doing what I think
she got. I need to look more into it because I think she actually did it a couple of times, and that was just the first time she was doing for court or something. I believe we need to look deeper into it.
Do you realize she didn't walk out the courtroom? She walked straight to the back.
That must have been one of them jobs where you get paid like the same day.
Yo, she was like,
I
by any means of getting this check, son.
Yeah.
By any means.
Yo, they make good. Yo, translators make good money though, especially sign language joints.
Especially government
translators.
You went here, you know this information you hearing right now. You listening to sworn statements and shit.
One more question, and you ain't even doing real language.
You know what I'm saying?
Who hired her though?
Yeah.
You just.
But how do you test them?
You give them something to sign language and you watch them.
Nah, but you don't like if you don't know sign, you like, oh yeah, she killing it. Like you really signed her off her movements, like how fluid she was doing.
I want to know how long she worked there.
That's what we need to look up.
But I'm saying even if the person who hired her doesn't know sign language, that's dumb.
Yeah, why would they be the person hiring them?
Because they think they run shit. Hey, I'm the chief administrator here. I'm gonna hire her.
But you don't know if they're any good.
Right.
Obviously, everybody needs to be fired.
Right. It's a lot of
I think the whole
staff,
I think the whole staff is bozos. It's not just her. I actually give her kudos for getting hired.
Okay, now you know what she did say though. She said most of what she signed was gibberish. So she probably passed the preliminary alphabet shit.
Right.
She probably was able to sign like the alphabet. But when it came to doing sentences and all that shit, she was out of here. Yeah, she couldn't do none of that shit. Yeah. So she probably knew the basic shit to pass the first part of the getting in the thing.
What if she knew sign language and just that day was on one?
I don't think
it was just like messing it up.
She ain't know shit. Shit, because she was like that little nigga who was posing to be a doctor. Y'all remember that nigga, that little African nigga who tricked everybody to think he was a doctor?
Oh yeah, the little kid. Yeah, hell yeah.
I remember that.
See, that's why they need to get rid of YouTube, yo. And I mean that, but I don't mean that because she literally learned that shit in like a week and a half and went to fill out some applications. She seen they was hiring for sign language people and learned the basic shit in like a week and a half and was like, yeah, I know how to do it.
Yo, the fact that she got hired at the city though is just
Like,
mind-boggling.
That's crazy.
New hustle, y'all.
Yeah,
new hustle.
Hey,
Going to
get your
jail.
sign language on.
You
All
going
right,
to
let's
jail.
get this. Yo, it's like almost.
Yeah, tell them you have no experience though. Don't lie like that, lady.
Let's go to the next one.
So there's this clip going viral online of a dozen women being asked the following question: do we need men? Most answered very quickly, no. So why do you think that is?
Because men are useless. Broadly speaking, I feel like men have proven largely useless. Like I think in the political moment.
I mean, and by the way, I want to differentiate between straight men and gay men because I think I would die without gay men.
Excuse me, the ABC network, which is hosting this show, would have canceled the show if it were a panel of men saying that women are useless. I see the producer right there. I wonder what you think about this one. Y'all would have called them misogynists, and the media would have destroyed the lives of those men. That's something to reflect on. And aside from that, everything you just said were emotional responses, but that's to be expected from a low IQ panel.
Us, we would have been bashed for saying stuff like that.
That's a fact. Everything you said was factual. Like, there's a time and a place to joke.
Y'all do know that guy wasn't actually on The View, right?
Yeah.
Y'all know that he's just been edited in there like he was there, but he's not.
Oh shit, I'm thinking he was.
Okay, well, his point.
That was a good edit.
Well,
See,
whatever.
AI.
See,
Fucking AI.
Hold on.
Straight
AI. Now
You
listen.
seen his videos before?
Fucking AI
Yeah,
guy.
of course I seen, but I thought they was interviewing the nigga.
Yeah.
I thought they was interviewing the nigga. But anyway, but what he's saying is correct though.
Yes, what he's saying is correct.
Yes,
And that would've put him in
we just staying on the message.
Yeah, it would have put him in their place.
Hell
yeah.
It was 100% fact.
Yeah, that's all we was really is getting on the message of it because like it's like we can't say anything.
Yeah, we can't say this
and
shit
they
like
can
that.
say everything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That was just my part of it. You know, I just don't appreciate that part at all.
Right. Jimmy ain't like that shit.
Right.
I don't, and especially them bitches talk about they rather have a gay man than a straight man. Like what kind of programming is that? Like who the fuck says stuff like
doing this?
Who was in charge? Like what is wrong with you up top?
I wholeheartedly agree, right? But I also think you gotta look at the source and the type of person. I'm gonna keep saying person. That's making these comments, right?
Facts.
Because I think it's and you can't. You can hold court on them, but in the same vein, I think it's also just looking at that individual and realizing, does the man really have a need for them? And so without,
Yes.
Yes.
How?
What?
What as
sexually?
No. Look.
What?
Okay. So when I say this, and I say,
I'm talking about the women of The View.
I'm talking
about
them.
Yeah. Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Whoopie man.
Hell no.
That's what I'm saying.
Speak.
My bad. I just said my fault. I said go ahead.
So that's what I'm saying. So what they're saying makes context and makes sense because of who's saying it. Mm-hmm. They don't want any man in their life that is doesn't have purpose, right?
They can't have one, first of all, but go ahead.
But because there's, again, as we said a couple times, there's certain things that having a man in your life that is not, I don't want to say not going to accept, but that there's just going to be certain things on how they go. So if you have that view of a man, then, and even if they're saying that there are other women, it's same as The Price is Right. What women did you ask? Did you ask lesbian women? Did you ask, in any on that
Are you asking women in relationships? Are you asking women that are married? Are you asking
right? What
different
demographic
of women.
are you asking?
Right.
And are you asking young women?
Old women?
Are you asking old women? Because that's a group of older women.
Quick question with that is a lot of I think it really doesn't matter because those type of shows, all like young women really ain't watching those type of shows.
That's what I'm
It'll
saying.
probably be our age and up.
Yeah. Right. That's what I'm saying. So that demographic
for their opinions. Though.
Yeah.
But I just think it's a brainwash. All I'm saying is I'm not going against what you're saying. I'm just saying that what they're doing is actually working through the social media profile. Because what they're kind of saying is like if you look at life, women don't want to deal with the man. Like I'm not talking about the ones in relationships, but all the bitter ones or the mad ones or the ones they rather not have a man and talk bad about him.
They're reprogramming the mentality of what, like, ain't it wild to, like, now that we here with it with the technology, ain't it wild to see the algorithm act out in real life?
Right. But that's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's just kind of what it is. Like, yeah, going back to what both of y'all saying, yeah.
But I don't think this algorithm right here actually shows up on young women's feed. I think that's like all other algorithms, right? Like on my feed is art, is right. There are different things like that. So that's not gonna show up on mine. So that's not even gonna show up on young women. I think the group that they're specific and the demographic that they're speaking to is the women that are.
Oh, you talking about them? Yeah. They
like
them,
40, like 55 or 50 and older, who need to hear, I don't need a man, because you're either without a man, not in the chance of getting a man, and so this is. You're right. It is a brainwash, but that only applies to that certain specific group that's a part of that.
But it trickles down.
Because they got Sexy Red and Meg Thee Stallion for the younger.
Yeah, that's a whole different group. Yeah. That's not. Yeah. They not even.
They got them saying my pussy pink and my booty old brown. They ain't even worried about it, nigga.
They
so like you said, it's still brainwashing.
But
like
I mean, but either way, it's still But there's still there are girls who
don't give a fuck about that.
Who don't give a fuck about the Sexy Red shit. Like they're different type of girls though. Like there are some girls who consider themselves to have class and they get opinion from elders. Mm-hmm. So some of them girls are actually tuning in to hear input on how to be successful and to be, you know what I'm saying? So it's driving that like I think any show that makes television is there for a reason. Mm-hmm. To control a narrative or to control a wave or a type of people. Go ahead.
I agree with you. But the only thing that I will say is I think there's enough women to allow them to categorize themselves.
Yeah.
So that we can actually, and I think that's a whole nother topic, but the dating is that we're trying to categorize and put women into different categories that they don't belong, or you know what I'm saying, or not. And I say that gingerly, but kind of like the women that would even believe or have that kind of mindset, allow them to be in that category and choose from the other ones that ain't, because you don't. Even if you were to get a woman that has that mindset, like you're not. I don't even really want to have a conversation with you, because if you're gonna tell me and if you're gonna have that kind of attitude and misogynistic attitude and be like you don't mean nothing, then what's really your purpose? Or what's really your purpose for me to have a conversation with? And what's really your purpose in society other than to provide divisiveness?
I mean, that narrative of television. Like the older I am now, I wish I was a little bit wiser, younger, to kind of see. Because I really kind of, like I said, I was raised by television a lot in the aspects on, like, what was in, what was out, how to dress, you know, how to treat females. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, plus the examples we have, which is a good segue for us to get into our topic about dropping the ball, the generation before us, say forefathers. You want to go ahead and play the video?
Yesteryear, they failed us. They lied to us. They told us happy wife, happy life.
Yeah.
They're the most disappointing generation that I've ever seen in my entire life. They fumbled the country. They said happy wife, happy life. They raised their daughters into being feminists. They lost control of their households. And then they gave us all of that same residual effects and all of those generational curses. And now we got to live with them and we got to fix what it is that they're dealing with. That's why you see a lot of guys saying, I don't want to be what my father was. Or my father was a drunk and that's why I don't drink anymore. Or my father wasn't there for me and that's why it is that I treat my kids so well. We trying to fix all of the stuff that they did, and then the next generation is going to be the recipients of our greatness if we go about doing it the right way. But the last generation is the ones that failed us. They was the most free generation to do what they wanted to do. They had all of the opportunity. They had the jobs. They had the benefits. They had the unions. They had every single thing that you can possibly have to be able to level up and become great and leave us a legacy, and they fumbled the bag.
This is a touchy subject for us all here, so we're going to, let the ball move around and let everybody give an opinion on it. What did you feel, Z, about that situation, man, about what he was talking about?
It's like, it's one of them ones where I see it both sides, and sometimes you gotta try to look at it from the other side.
Correct.
Like, going into it, you automatically want to say, hell yeah, niggas, you know what I mean? Da 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 da. How the fuck you this, that, and the third? You wasn't there. That's an excuse. And then you get older. You know what I'm saying? And then you start having your own situations, and sometimes it's like, damn, it still ain't no excuse. Going back to a point Jimmy was making earlier about, taking care of your child, whatever. And I'm not taking that away from it, but sometimes there's so much stress when dealing with the mother, or vice versa, ladies, when you're dealing with the father, that you can't even really have a come together moment. Like it's so hostile that it's just a drop off, and you don't want the child to see that negative energy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, damn, I can get it when our era, when the nigga just disappeared. And then moms were so strong. Sometimes a lot of the niggas had drug problems. A lot of niggas was coming home from Vietnam fucked up. Yeah. A lot of the niggas, you know what I'm saying? There was a lot of situations they was dealing with. Mom Dukes just had to get the fuck up out of there and do what was best for her and the child and keep that nigga as far away as possible. So that's why I say, man, they dropped the ball, but I don't want to give them 100% of the blame. You know what I mean? I guess if that makes sense. To be fair.
I'm gonna look at it from the aspects of not just the male side, but look at it from that generation, like male and female. Okay. And what I'll say is I agree. I think we had a discussion a while back, but I think that generation, like he said, they came out chasing everything white. Whether it was white shoes, white cars, white women, white male, white jobs, white
how they look, how they live,
white acceptance. Yeah. You know what I mean? All of that came in that 70s, 80s transition, or like out of the 70s, 80s pocket. Right. And so you had a lot of people. So I agree that they dropped the ball because they did come out of a generation. They came out of the generation where they was raised on King and Malcolm. They was raised on Black Panther Party. They was children of free meals. They was children of pre-Crips and Bloods. They were children of just all these different black treasures. You dig what I'm saying? Like, of just monuments of people. And out of that came, it's like they gave up and traded all of that and went to, like, they just forgot it. Like, and if you think about it, we picked it back up in like the 90s, but in like for us, it was down here, it was like early 90s when we finally picked it back up. But a lot of that stuff, even to us then, was brand new. And how was it brand new when y'all niggas saw this shit?
Crap.
Yeah, I'm not denying it.
I was trying to think of one word that would
white,
stop
right?
our movement. Yeah,
it's white.
Yeah.
So that's all I'm saying.
I'm like, these are all valid points. I don't think there's a right or wrong with this. Like these are, when it comes to that, like what I wholeheartedly agree with D, when he said that both parties dropped the ball, right? It's not like, I'm just saying, but generationally though, I feel like men, as a black man, personal, I feel like we the superheroes of this world.
Right.
So when he said we dropped the ball also, he's also talking about what the community is allowed to look like. Like as far as a lot of aspects, not just the personal, not just individually with the homes and, you know, not staying in the house and all that. I ain't even talking about that. I'm talking about deeper than that. I'm talking about like community wise, fathers, not even fathers, but black men have enough, like, they fear us in a sense. Our presence. So if you left the house, you were still in the community. Like, I've always said we cowards as men. And I'm going to tell you why they dropped the ball, because they allowed their sons, their nephews, cousins to run amok in the motherfucking streets. Right? That's one of the reasons why I feel like as a black man, like we I remember being young, trying to run around wild in the street, like thinking I knew what I was doing. There was at least someone older who said, yo, what the fuck, man? Get your ass. Like, we don't even stop them or allow them. Like, nobody stopped us either. Like we sold them crack.
So this is my only pushback and why I say it has to be both. Because I'm going to ask you, my first question is going to be, and this is to all of us, right?
Yeah.
Where was our mom that we was out in the street?
Working.
Right. So how, and even to points in early in the show that we made, the reason that I say it's both parties is because that door had to be opened up to allow the black male to get attacked, to be put in that situation, right? To me, a situation of, we might have evaded that situation, but it's also like there's a certain situation of if you got somebody that just came home from Iraq, you knew the man that he was before, or whatever, or Vietnam in this case. There's a certain kind of, the community has to protect him too. Or even in that situation of, I agree with you where the community goes, but those women also are the mothers and pillars of that community. So and that to me is what a community is when one goes down here for whatever reason, the other one steps up. But it doesn't mean that you leave and abandon him. It means that you just here until he gets here, and then you're doing this.
I mean, but that part but it's hard to be able to adjust. I agree with that, but I'm just saying the part that we play when it comes to stopping a child from certain behavior, it will take a certain amount of masculinity in most cases. And without that masculinity, see, it's all going to circle to us. I'm trying to get off of us not being in the house. I'm saying, because even though we wasn't in the house, we still in the community. We still present in the form of the community one way or the other to watch these type of behaviors happen. And I think it's harder for a mother. We've seen it. Like, our moms is, hey, come in the house and blah, blah, blah. But she still got to pay bills. There's still other kids going to other things. Physically, we supposed to, that's our job.
Do y'all think though that, because I honestly feel like we could pinpoint a time, because I'm listening to both of y'all bringing up great points, and I'm like, okay, because I'm trying to think of an exact time period where we know this, hypothetical ball was dropped. So I'm like, okay, D brought up back then as opposed to how you speaking on now. So let's say that transition from our grandfathers, owning homes, buying homes, what I'm saying, getting some of the military aid they was able to get back then to buy their first homes. Okay, fast forward to them passing that house on to whoever was next in line to get the house, because only one person was going to get it. So that was going to be whether our aunt, uncle, mother, or father, right? So that's our generation, right there. So let's just say if we put that in the time, everybody, of course, it might have happened in a different course. So let's say between the 80s and 90s, that pretty much might have happened to where that transition happened, right?
Agree with him.
So where did that ball drop? It got to be somewhere in that time.
It's right there.
It got to be somewhere in there,
it's
right?
It's both, like he's saying. It's both. It's both parties.
Because properties and shit like that was passed on, and then there was a generation that fucked it up.
So I live.
You know what I'm saying?
I live dead center in the West End, right? Mm-hmm. Back in that era, our grandfather's 1920s,
right?
The whole West End, majority of West End was black, right? Mm-hmm. Houses was built, paid for, owned.
Right.
All those houses got passed down to that next generation. Mm. They mad because now it's getting gentrified to be white, right? Yep. But that generation let those houses go down to the point they were getting sold for $500 or $5,000 on the court,
which would be the 65 to 85, 65 to early 80s. I'm trying to think of the age group. We can pinpoint what generation we need to really start asking some questions like, yo, what really happened to
our parents?
Track?
Our parents' generation. That's what
our
I'm saying.
Parents.
Our
parents.
Generation, yeah. And that's what I'm saying, because you got to look, that's the generation that were the children of the civil rights movement. Mm-hmm. Those were the children that were that literally got to see, and probably some were teens, some were between teen and young and preteen.
Early.
But they got to see civil rights movement. They got to experience racism.
Oh yeah, because my mom, she remembers when Kennedy got clipped. She remember being in school. Yeah.
They've gone from seeing colors can't eat here to seeing Obama as a president. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So and like again, you got to me the icons that just existed in their generation.
Yeah. That's why they call the baby boomers, though.
They're called the baby boomers because they came back from Vietnam and there was a lot of
but that part too. But if you think about, like, they're the ones that are gonna boom like a plan, I'm thinking inside, like I'm thinking deeper than what it is.
You know what they also saying? That's the generation that's got it really fucked up in this housing market, because a lot of them, like y'all saying, they came home, had big families, so you having 6, 7, 8, 9 kids, which is our parents now. But a lot of them that went and bought homes, that kept homes, especially, we'll just keep it real, a lot of the white people that own a majority of the homes in this country, now they're fucked because they bought these homes at X amount. They want to downgrade because they don't need this 5 and 6 bedroom, 4 and 5 bedroom. But if they sell it for the $600,000, $700,000 that it's worth, to downgrade is going to cost just as much. So what do? Now they not selling any homes and they not buying them. So that's what's really got this housing market fucked up too. The baby boomers that's retiring ain't buying houses.
See, but they can't, because if you think about it, if you think about age though, like what we talk about, like our parents, this is what happened with that. After the people who had the houses when they came home from the war and all that stuff, their kids, which are our parents,
right?
They could not find a way to work out that family house. And I'm not speaking on everybody else's family. I'm just speaking off my personal experience. And I spoke with a lot of other people, because once it comes down to who's going to run it, it becomes an issue on whose house it's going to be. Oh, no, I'm not doing this. We can't get along. We're going to sell said house and we're going to split the money. We're going to move on. Yeah. That's exactly what happened. Because if you keep said house, because real talk, other nationalities, right? And this is the problem when I'm talking about. The cookouts, the one house that everybody went to for generations, other nationalities have that. Like Pawpaw been there for 40, 50 years. You know what I'm saying? And so that's where legacy comes from. So by us not being able to continue that, that's where we've lost. So I do agree with you, both sides. But I'm being personal when it's coming to what's going on with the youth in the streets. Like, I feel like without that, like one thing, Black Panther Party, like none of that shit would be going on if that type of movement was still involved. Like, we scared now.
Now, again, because I'm trying to be the shoot him some bell.
Okay.
the economical hit that was put on us too had got us fucked up, because like it was redlining, it was just so much shit that we were still dealing with, that generation dealt with. They hit us with welfare, they took the fathers out the home, the drug era, the Reaganomics, the draconian drug laws, the way they was giving niggas all these years for a gram of crack, like
Your president.
yeah, everything that they attacked us with in that era that we talking about where the ball was dropped is sick and diabolical as these people are who we know that run the country. Is it fair to say that, going back to what you saying and what you said, they know who we are and that was the only way to really knock us off our square, because they seen where we was going off the piggybacking off the Black Panther movement? Oh shit, niggas got a couple more dollars now, they got land to pass on, we gotta get these niggas out of here. It's been on record, J. Edgar Hoover, we can't let a Messiah rise up. Like we hear these things. So now that we know the ball was dropped, but it was also dropped because Dikembe Mutombo was blocking Spud Webb. You know what I'm saying? Spud Webb trying to dunk on Mutombo type shit. You know what I mean?
I agree with you wholeheartedly. And to your point, we got to realize what that generation really saw. We got to realize that generation saw they murdered anybody, everybody that stepped
even
up
they
and
own.
said something. Right.
Which generation are we talking
about?
about?
The same generation.
We talking about our parents.
Our parents. Because that generation saw MLK, Malcolm X, JFK,
Kennedy. Both Kennedys.
A group of a gang of Black Panthers, and if they didn't get killed, they got put in prison indefinitely.
Right.
So we got to look at what this generation actually saw. So it's understandable, right?
Which part is understandable? Because real quick, the family part to me, like the still wanting to, because back then they still wanted to at least protect their own.
I'm not disagreeing. I think, but what we saw that's the part that I feel like everybody is accountable for, right? Yeah. And that it's not a sense where you can put it on one side or the other, but it has to be, because when it came to that, they had two choices. We can either stick together, or we can every man for themselves. And I think that it looks like they chose every man for themselves. Right. And that's the difference now in what you can see between the two generations. And that's why I say it can't just be on one or the other, because it takes two. But prior to that, you saw Black communities exactly what you're talking
thriving.
About. Yeah, but in that, it's exactly the same thing we were talking about. You had, because even still back then, it was easier for Black women to get a job than it was for a Black man, right? So that didn't change the roles, that didn't change the masculinity, that didn't change none of that. It just put it in the aspects of, I understand there's a system that makes it hard for you to get a job. So what you need to do is you need to go hustle. I'm going to respect your hustle. I'm going to respect you as a man, because I know that you're doing your best to provide for this household, this situation, on a system that will hang you in a split second. Right. So
systematically, though.
Right. So we worked together, and it got to the point where it was one day, it all of a sudden became, nigga, you ain't shit. And it was like, yo, these motherfuckers still hanging me. And it was like, well, do better. And it's like, you know, and it became us against us. And that's the other reason I blame that generation, because we understood, in that we understood, like you said, crack, we understood welfare, we understood all the reasons why I'm not in the home.
Right.
But you don't turn on me.
Yeah.
You're right, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, we find a way where collect that welfare check. I may not be there all the time, but I'm gonna be there, and I'm gonna keep taking care of my kids. Right. And I'm gonna come around. You know what I mean? Because, you know.
Little shit, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Walking to school, you ain't got to get up and get up. I'm going to make sure they getting at the bus stop and all of that. Like, little shit like that. Yeah. But yeah, I think that just, to me, to kind of, you know, to not even try to give an answer to this situation, but I feel like, you know, again, like, it's just eerie when you hear the fucking head of the FBI say, we cannot let a Black Messiah rise up. That just goes to show you, once again, one of y'all said it, how powerful we are. And for them to hit us with crack, AIDS, all of this shit in the 80s, when this ball was dropped, it makes me just wonder, like, yo.
It's a lot of misdirection.
You know what I'm saying?
I know y'all touched on this the other week, but I think that's Now that you got the Russians opening the vault, now that people are really starting to understand, you can't pull the veil back on all this truth that's starting to come out into the world, and you starting to see it. It makes sense. Yeah, you're saying something about I feel the people, that's the tribe of Judah, right?
Right.
That's or not the tribe of Judah, but the Hebrews, because we got to keep them oppressed, and it makes sense. You know, they know or think that they have an understanding of where the Messiah is coming from. So
makes you
wonder. That makes perfect
makes
sense.
You wonder, yeah.
It just makes perfect sense, because if you
we was almost there, y'all. If you think about it, that civil rights movement, we was right there. For Martin to say in his last kind of speech be based on some, okay, fuck this race shit now. It's us against them. They got the bread, and really wake niggas up. They was like, no. You know what I mean? And it just went off from there, like you said, after that.
But I don't think it's going to be, I love that aspect of it, but I don't think it's going to be the Messiah in that sense, because I think what it is it has to come in the mental change and understanding of who we are. Because once we understand who we are,
that's the true Messiah, huh?
Yeah, because dig this. Once we understand who we are, they become ineffective.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying the true Messiah is knowledge, but I'm saying he'll bring a certain knowledge.
Yeah. It's almost like he'll manifest with
you can see the exact reflection. That's why I feel we're getting closer to that. So now it's you don't get to, we gonna move differently. So when they stand in front of you, it's like, move.
I mean that comes with being better. That was dope. Was like really, I would just want to say about being better, like having a better self, like knowing thyself first of all, regardless of what the predecessors or what people tell you should be or be like, or what the standard is. For instance, be you. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what anybody else feels. So I'm not mad at. I'm with you, Z, as well. Like, I think we all on the same page about this situation. There's a lot to be mad at, looking at the past or the situations of what's going on now and the situations we're in. But I think, to wrap it up, what you said, knowing you, just making sure you're better self, because like what you were saying about the Messiah, we talk about like all this shit be coming back around in circles. Like, it ain't really about a Messiah like coming back to save, because ain't nobody coming back to save nobody
until you save yourself.
I think to me,
what though? Like, what do they like? It's so much to.
So we had this conversation, right? I think if we look at this picture and understand and see all of the evil that's going on in this world, right there, we have to understand that there is, and I think we all sense it, and especially some conversations we had and maybe others, is that you sense that there is evil and its presence is growing or getting to a point where you're seeing stuff that's happening now that never would have seen or understood happen before. We discussed some issues that were wild, right?
Right.
So I think that's the point. And if you believe that, then you have to see that there's something far beyond the physical of what we actually can see, touch, actually, and do. And in that context, it has to be someone that has to be able to change that or to affect that, because we're affected by it. And you can see the effects in our natural, emotional, mental, and physical. You dig what I'm saying? And so you can't say that you
see, but I mean that all that's agreed. I'm just saying, but we can't wait, is what I'm saying. We can't feel that we're just gonna have to wait until that day. If we're going because that makes us like, I feel like then we actually are not doing, we're not like we deserve to go with those that are doing bad. Like, just like if evil's around and you condone and just be like, nah, I never, then I believe it's time for you, like you gonna join in what's happening,
right?
Yeah.
To a sense.
I agree with you. I think it's a level of it's you saying working on yourself. It's a level of
So when you're
morality.
ready to see him or whoever or whatever it is, at least
I think it's in a sense to me it's this. Yes, you have the responsibility of morality, but you also have to understand there's nothing that you could really do effectively. You know what I'm saying?
So you might
because
as well
you can't
abandon ship.
It's no. What I'm saying is that's to me why there has to be a need for a Messiah, right? Because you got to understand, or the way I see it and understand it is, there's nothing that even in you doing your best, there's still nothing that you could have done. Because you're talking about a world that operates on the whole spiritual side, right? And even you doing your best, it's still not enough to sway this spiritual side because...
I'm giving up hope, bro.
Nah, hear me out. But here's the hope. That's why the Messiah is the hope, because he takes place and puts in that aspects of...
Yeah.
It's not based on you. That's the freedom of it. Because if it's based on you, then there's no hope. Because you're gonna always be imperfect. So the hope is in what is perfect.
Hold on, real quick, man, because it's like this, yo. That's kind of rough because it kind of puts you in a sense of that's why evil's winning, right? Evil is winning because that's their pitch. Like, what if they know the date of said event, right? And they gonna say, yo, in your lifetime, you're not even gonna, like, who, you know, like we're gonna give you this and this greatness and all these things. They gonna take that over suffering. That's why evil is winning. If people are I don't want to speak up, like, because everybody's religious. What they believe in doesn't, believe in the same. So if we try to, like, I don't necessarily want to speak on a specific religion.
Yeah.
But I'm just speaking on good and evil in the sense of good and evil. They're winning because of the fact that people die, right? Giving good, like doing good, and they suffer, right? Which is like, it's kind of like fucked up and wanting to be, help and uplift people, but they end up dying by living horribly, right?
So, my understanding, I'll take this. You're going to suffer whether you're rich or whether you're poor, right?
Well,
like,
we're going to wrap it up after.
And I'll say this from personal experience. And the saddest way, at some point in time, your mom's going to die.
Yeah, facts.
You're going to suffer, right? Everybody's going to go through
But it just depends. Like, what if we got to use, something, because some people...
But I did this. And I'll say this, no matter what it is, there's no amount of money that's going to stop you from certain suffering. There's no amount of money that you can have on the face of this earth that's going to stop you from certain suffering.
I disagree. Because to some people, money is everything. And we talked about...
So we talked about this earlier,
we talked about the guy that would S&D for a certain amount of money.
But we also understand that would not solve that individual's problems, but only heighten that individual's problem to the point it would lead to him possibly...
He's going to continue to do it.
But he don't care, though. Like, if he's going to S&D...
Right, but what I'm saying, he's going to die at some point in time. If most people, even if you look at the standards of who wins the lottery, when poor people win the lottery,
it's rigged.
They definitely end up worse off than they were before. Yeah. So this is what I'm saying. There's going to be some amount of suffering. So the aspects of you trying to avoid suffering is ridiculous. You just got to get to the point that there's going to be suffering. And it's how you go through it. Yeah. It's because you can have all the money in the world, but if you are in the supply of money and people are like, yeah, you don't know what it has, but if you're suffering from something internal that money can't touch, you're going to be miserable. You're going to be horrible, and I guarantee you're going to end up some way, some fashion, crack, heroin,
or
some way yourself to die.
But that's a result, though. And I think the people who do said things, they don't care about themselves enough to worry about that. But I think we're thinking on a synopsis of like level-headed, people with them, because we're not going to do it. The whole room full of us, 4 or 5, we're not going to do it. But if we bring a whole 10 other people in the room, behind closed doors, people are doing things for money.
Right.
That they don't, and
very true.
And they don't like MDK to their family, parents.
I agree, but to me that's kind of that to me is what sounds like hopelessness, right? Because you don't have hope in something greater, so your only hope is in a dollar or in a dime, and that's the only way you see that's going to fix, change, or make your life better. when what we understand is no material object is ever going to make your life better.
Yeah.
No matter what it is.
I mean, yeah, that's definitely gonna.
So I feel that's what I'm saying. Like it's, and I think we had this conversation. Is perspective. Like, what really matters to you? If someone were to say it, and it's, I think we've all heard it. If someone were to come and offer you, say, not even the S&D, right, but for $1 million, one of your kids are gonna die.
I'm not with no. Yeah. I don't want nothing with no. See, but that's me.
Right.
There are other people at and with their. I'm not gonna say it's proof, but but anyway, definitely people. There are people that would do anything for $1, and I pray for y'all. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, whatever you believe in. So we want to shout out to Deep. Pulled up.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
Bless. I appreciate you having me.
Appreciate you.
We definitely gotta have you back, bro. You know what I'm saying? We had I am too. And this is definitely a 2-hour show. This is definitely the longest one we had in a while. But we had a great show. PMP gang.
Yes.
Shout out to Pause, man.
Definitely. Appreciate you. Crystal clear clarity as always.
Tune in next week, man.
We gotta get ready to make these journeys, y'all.
Peace.
Out of here.